Rain, go away. So let's just talk some PCA. You just won National League Player of the Week for the second time in the past month. That's got to feel pretty good. Plus, news and notes on the pitchers, pitching matchups rained out for the second day in a row. Come hang out with us. I'm back from Italy, baby. Let's have a good show. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast on a Monday, presented to you by Bet365, where winning is everything, and Toyota Let's Go Places, coming to you live from the Xfinity Loft, the dry Xfinity Loft. Come on in and hang out with us for the next hour, because you don't got baseball to watch tonight. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman as always, Patrick Hot Honey Buns Norton bringing it right now as our special guest, and Sarah running the ones and twos.
Go Cubs.
Go Cubs. Thanks, everybody, for jumping into the chat. Look, we're going to have for the next hour. We were hoping to see some baseball tonight. Yeah. We're not going to. So drop your questions in the chat. We're happy to read them for you.
But first off, welcome back, Joey.
Thank you.
Welcome back from Italy, dude.
Thank you very much.
We missed you, man.
I traveled the world to try and find the Chicago Cubs some offense. I got off the plane. They scored 16 runs. And then I looked in my pockets and said, damn it, I left the bullpen.
Yeah.
I left the bullpen in Italy, and they completely caved on Saturday.
Luke and I were joking because I think they ended up being 6-2 or 5-2 when you were out of the country. And we're like, we had to sacrifice Joey to get the Cubbies back on track, you know? And you're back here, and we get 2 rainouts in a row. It's like, man, let's go, you know?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah,
maybe we could get a GoFundMe together and send them back.
Send them back.
Send me back.
Are you down for that?
Back.
You want to go back?
I was fully prepared to streak in Italy. That's what I actually really wanted to do, but it never really ended up happening. They couldn't. They lost the game. They lost to the Giants. They lost a game to the Rockies. They lost a couple games to the Rockies, and then I came home for this Toronto series. And we'll get into the Toronto series for sure, because I feel like that there was something left on the table, certainly on that Saturday, after a huge offensive explosion on Friday. But let's hit the headliner. We are going to talk a lot of pitching. What's up to Becky in the chat? What's up to Daniel? What's up to Gary Ross, as always, in the chat? Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of CHGO Cubs.
Erica, what's up?
But Erica, as always. But let's hit the headliner, ladies and gentlemen. Pete Crow-Armstrong named National League Player of the Week for the second time over the past month. I can't say that we're surprised, Justin, but he keeps racking up the accolades at this point. And now at least, maybe some people that were saying he's overrated, saying the hater thing.
Yeah, man.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll pipe down a little bit.
So I got to read a tweet that I put out because it really makes me smile, right? Like, it's one of those things where Cub fans and PCA supporters got a lot of flack early on in the season because he didn't start off great, right? He had some controversy, and then everybody on the national scale was running with a couple things. Oh, he sucks, overrated, the whole thing. We all heard it, right? So I have a tweet I put out because he's been crushing it. I mean, and we'll get into the numbers, but he's been crushing it. And I tweeted out, one of my favorite things to do is to not text back to people who are texting me that PCA sucks. Now that he's literally one of the best players in all of baseball, they just don't know ball. PCA haters, some fan bases of other teams, people nationally, they were hating on this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I never stopped believing in him because all the knock we heard about, he only had one good half last year. He had a good second half in 2024. Phenomenal first half last year. And he cooled off last year at the second half. But this year you are seeing a superstar blossom right before our very eyes. And it's been fun to watch. The guy can do everything. We already know he's a Gold Glove center fielder probably for the next decade, right? And I hate to quote Steve Goodman, but he's got the power. He's got the speed. He creates chaos on the bases, and we're finding out that he's a bit more patient in the leadoff spot. He's an overall better hitter since being moved to leadoff, and credit Counsell. He put him at leadoff. He wasn't killing it and they put him in leadoff. He was struggling, and Craig put him in leadoff. So ultimately, I give credit to Craig Counsell, but the ultimate respect and credit goes to PCA for never giving up and truly showing the league and the country why he is one of the best players in baseball.
Well, and finish the lyric, too. He's got the power. He's got the speed to what? Be the best in the National League.
Yeah.
And right now, it's not just the National League. It is the whole dang league. He currently leads the majors in F-WAR among position players. And that is not a spot where you necessarily saw PCA being at on June 22nd, on May 22nd. But it has been one heck of a month for him, and now you're starting to see that reflect in results for the Cubs, too. And that's a really good sign for the team going forward, but it's really nice for them to have their superstar back.
Yeah, some huge positives, right, is not only the accolade of being the National Player of the Week, the F-WAR is great. He had that kind of trajectory heading into last year when he got hot, too, as well. But going back and watching some of these games, and yeah, I mean, getting a cycle in a game is super fun. The amount of home runs that he's had has been super cool. I got a nephew, Atlas, and he's watching the games right now, and he's just now becoming a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Imagine as a little kid turning on the TV and every single day PCA is doing something at the plate. He's almost thinking that it's an automatic thing. The question that I'm having, and the question that I think I'm able to answer is it sustainable? Is it different from last year? And I'm here to say that I think this is not only sustainable. I don't think he's going to win Player of the Week every single week, Cubs fans, but I think this is here to stay for a couple of reasons. The first one is the numbers are actually better than some of the hot streaks that he had of last year. I pulled up the numbers. Through 77 games, Pete Crow-Armstrong's numbers are identical, if not better, than the numbers that Kyle Tucker had through 77 games last year. When we were at that point in June with Kyle Tucker, we were asking ourselves the question, is this guy worth $500 million in the open market? That's the kind of stuff that Pete Crow-Armstrong's doing at the plate. The other part about it, too, that I've been so impressed by is that you could just see it with the eye test, the way that he's seeing pitches right now. And he talked about it, I think it was the other day after one of the games. I think he talked about it after the 16-2 win with Cole Wright and Cliff Floyd, that he has now a two-step fundamental approach to his swing where his hands are a little bit lower. They go to one spot, and the business is kind of cut down and it's been streamlined. And the other part about it, Justin, that I love, that I think that you'll enjoy, it's June right now. He's at about 200-something at bats, 270-something at bats. Last year he had about 550. He is one walk shy of tying his career high in walks.
Amazing.
Right now.
Yeah.
And he's doing it, as you said, from the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that go beyond the home runs for me, I think that this kid is not only locking in on something, but I think it's something that might be here to stay. And I'm not as concerned about second half Pete as maybe I was last year when he had that kind of a heater.
Something clicked for him. We talked about it on the show. And I said baseball is a very mental game. We talked about how closers don't perform as well in non-save situations, how sometimes pitchers can't throw to second base or first base, but they could throw 97 down the middle, from the mound. Also, I just think with PCA, his mentality has been different from the leadoff spot. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's zoned in earlier, he's focused more, or now he feels a bigger part of the team. I don't know what it is, but he is a completely different hitter from the leadoff position. And here's a tweet that I love. You talk about 77 games, and you compared him to last year Kyle Tucker.
Yeah.
Literally, through 77 games, you can kind of compare him to 2016 Chris Bryant.
There you go.
What happened that year? He was the MVP
Was that
of the
Carson
league.
Wolf that
Carson
tweeted
Wolf.
that? Yeah, he does a great job.
I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers here, but comparable to 2016 Chris Bryant, who was the MVP of a World Series team. Pete Crow-Armstrong, I actually kind of said that. We're PCA, but I meant to say whatever. PCA is on the verge of superstardom, and it's been so fun to watch. And again, man, I'm so happy because a lot of people were down on this kid because he made a couple mental lapses. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He had a rough week. He had a rough week from controversy to errors to whatever. But credit to the man. He got out of it, and not only did he get out of it, he flourished afterwards.
Yeah.
And you're comparing, to a very hot Kyle Tucker last year to an MVP in 2016. This kid's for real, and I'm with you. I'm not scared of a second half. I mean, he will not always be player of the week, but the tools are there to be a darn good player for the rest of this season and beyond.
So Patrick, the question is, and when we have these conversations, I think we should just remove Ohtani from the list because he's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Right.
Is Pete Crow-Armstrong right now today the best player in the National League?
I think so. I think position player for sure. And I think his competition is up north right now in terms of all players in the National League, and that's Jacob Misiorowski.
Right.
Other than that, he is head and shoulders right now above everybody else. Who else are you going to say?
Juan Soto's having a good year.
Juan Soto having a good year. Kyle Schwarber on the power alone.
Kyle Schwarber with 29 home runs right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Until Pete Crow-Armstrong hits 2 home runs in the same inning, are we not allowed to put them on
Well,
the same
and look,
tier?
I'll rephrase it like this because I was having this conversation via text with Brendan Miller over the weekend, and I'll ask you guys this. Justin, we did this topic over the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
We did the whole, like, who would you trade who for?
Right.
And, like, let's just keep it in a vacuum and keep it here today because there's a rain delay. There's no game today. He just won National League Player of the Week. As you said, Patrick, F4, 4.7. The home run's there. The speed's there. The average is going up. And, oh, yeah, that's right. The on-base percentage is over 36%, or it's, like, right at 36%. As of right now today, how many players in Major League Baseball are you trading Pete Crow-Armstrong straight up for right now?
I don't think there are any.
I mean, Shohei Ohtani, maybe that's it.
Right.
I
Okay.
was still removing him from the conversation.
What, okay.
Still, yes.
Bobby Witt was the one guy in the offseason that I said that I would probably have to think long and hard about it, and I probably would trade Bobby Witt and let's try and take the money out of it.
I was going to say, because the money changes things.
Because the money's $288, and right now he's got an MCL sprain. So, like, right now today,
but
that
eventually
one's a little
PCA
tough.
will be in line for a deal like that.
But I asked Brendan, would you trade the Miz for Pete Crow-Armstrong right now straight up? And we were like, pitcher versus position player, back and forth. You sleep on it. I think I'm sleeping on it. I think I'm waking up and I'm saying no.
Yeah, I think ultimately, Shohei Ohtani, I think across the board is a yes. We're taking him out of the conversation because he's a unicorn and you just can't compare him to anybody else, right? But when it comes to Bobby Witt, like, I know you said take the money out, but you almost can't take the money out because, like, that's a real thing. We signed PCA to this amazing extension, which I think, as of right now, it's looking like a freaking genius move
looking
to
pretty
sign
good.
that kid early for the money we got him for.
It's looking pretty
So
good.
you got to kind of compare the money a little bit. So I'd rather have PCA at this price point than Bobby Witt at that price point. So I'll be honest, and with the Jacob Misiorowski, listen, obviously that guy's a stud. I hate saying it. He is a stud. But, man, pitchers' arms are very volatile. And that guy throwing, 104, 105 on every pitch, that makes me very scared of injury. I think PCA is more of a injury certain situation of, being healthy over the Miz. So that's why I think, short of Ohtani, I probably don't trade him for anybody.
Let's get a Toyota Super Chat from David Snyder. Wisdom Troll Blocker, am I getting that right?
Yeah.
PCA ain't one of the best in MLB yet. LMAO. There we go with the mega exaggeration again. He's looking great right now, but he has to do what he's been doing for months, not just 1 month. Now, that's fair. About the months part about it, we're having a conversation about right now, David Snyder. He just won National League Player of the Week. He's now won it twice over the last month. And it isn't just 1 month now. Pete Crow-Armstrong has been doing this for close to 2 months now. I believe it's 6 or 7 weeks, if you want to split hairs by the human calendar that we go by. And it's very fair. A lot of people are traumatized by what happened to him in the second half of last year. What I'm sitting here and telling you, though, is that from my seat, I think this is a different Pete. Not just from the sense of 1 year forward in terms of maturation and seasoning. Just watch his plate appearances and watch the way he spits on pitches that he normally was offering at and swinging at early on this year, and then also watch how he's punishing pitches in the zone right now. He's getting hits to the opposite field. He's getting home runs. He's doing a little bit of everything. It's fair to say mega exaggeration, sure, but I'm sitting here on this show right now telling you that I think that it is sustainable, and I think a couple months from now, David Snyder, come back to the show and let's see where Pete's at, and then we'll have another conversation.
2 quick points about that. One is MVPs slump. MVPs also have
Every baseball player does.
Right. That's the nature of
Ohtani
the game.
hit 160-something for 3 weeks.
The idea of sustaining this 1 month over the course of the year, if he were to do that for the rest of the year, we'd be talking about one of the greatest seasons in Cubs history.
He's not hitting 380 all year.
Right.
100%.
Right. That said, Roman, you made a point of this a second ago. You said he's on the verge of superstardom. At what point can we just say he's there?
Right.
I've been having this conversation with the Bears guys so much, and it's, oh man, Caleb Williams is on the verge of superstardom. I think he just kind of is.
Right.
And I think Pete Crow-Armstrong is Is he not at that level yet? He's certainly getting the treatment online from the MLB Twitter account and from all, like they are starting to view him as a focal point to market in the league, and that is the truest sign of a superstar.
He's definitely the face of this franchise. I think the Cubs are doing that, and MLB, you're right. MLB is making him the face of this franchise, and for good reason. I mean, it's just so exciting, the fact that he's in like year one of an extension. You know what I mean? Like we have this guy for, I'm going to say probably for the next, like at least throughout this decade, right? I mean, like ultimately, like this is your center fielder for a very long time. And Joey, you talked about maturation during his at-bats. I'm going to say this season, I think also was a learning process for him outside of baseball. He had a bit of controversy, and then he had a couple mental lapses that we hadn't seen it before, you know? And I think, like, again, you take that week and put a microscope on it, I think he did learn from that, you know, and he is a better version of himself, not just as a baseball player right now, but I think he's a better version of himself as a man right now. Some of his post-game interviews I've heard are like super insightful and like super mature. You know, I think he's reflected on things very, very well, and his answers are great. And I love the guy. I think he's the perfect face for our franchise because, listen, baseball, we have high character guys. It's the Swansons and the Bregmans and the Nikos, but like, no one's more exciting and more electric and more passionate than Pete Crow-Armstrong. I think that's the kind of vibe and the kind of swag you need to be the face of this franchise moving forward. And I'm very, very excited that it's him.
Yeah, and I think he's at that level now, Patrick. To be honest with you, that superstar status level, I really think that he's there, especially what he did in the WBC. I think it is fair for Cubs fans to say, let's see him if he does it in September, if he does it in October, if he carries the team the way he's carrying them right now, and he does it that late in the year. There's no place to hide, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to be able to say, oh, this, that. He is going to be the superstar that we all have wanted him to be, and he's playing like right now. Let's take a break here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. On the other side of the break, don't worry. We're going to talk some pitching. We're going to talk some bullpen problems. We're going to talk Dansby, Nico, infielders, all that good stuff. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Let's hear from some of our wonderful partners here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Hey, Cubs fans, whether it's on the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every single level. That's where Old National Bank comes into play because they believe every play matters, from everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking. Their team is there to build momentum and help you move the ball forward. And it all starts with a plan that is tailored to you by professionals that you can trust. Simple tasks to bigger financial moments, you can count on them to coordinate your needs with steady, knowledgeable guidance that brings clarity and confidence to every single step of your financial journey. A partnership designed to help you feel supported, not just today, but into the future. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, dealing with a rain delay, gearing up for whatever comes next, that means you got to have the tools, insights, and expert crew that's always in your corner, and that crew is Old National Bank. It's Old National Bank, member FDIC, where relationships and results, when they come together, trust me, they matter.
Yes. All right. Hot weather, rainouts. Hot weather, summertime shy is definitely in effect. And right now at Bet365, it's the perfect time to prepare for Chicago's perfect season. Thanks to their Bet $10, get $150 in bonus bets deal. All you have to do is sign up and make your first $10 bet, and Bet365 will throw you $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app and use code CHGO365. Have you heard about MLB early payout? Bet365 is offering their 5-run early payout. Whenever the team you're riding with goes up 5 runs at any point in the game, they'll pay your bet out right then and there. It's as simple as that. They can't stop bullpens from ruining your day. They can't stop rainouts from ruining your day, but they can help stop ruining your bets. Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app and use code CHGO365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Illinois. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
Coming back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, Cubs postponed versus the New York Mets. They'll have a doubleheader on Wednesday, so we're hanging out with you here in the chat. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Patrick Norton, and Sarah on the ones and twos. Drop your questions in the chat. Sarah will do the best she can to favorite them. We'll try and get to them a little bit later in the show. But for right now, we have a Toyota Super Chat $19.99 holding that 1 penny because the Cubs did not win today, technically, from Lobster Bobster. Thank you, Mr. Bobster. He says, I'm having withdrawals from no Cubs baseball in 48 hours. This is torture, but so is Cubs baseball as of late. Pick your poison. I was at the game Saturday. I booed the ish out of them for losing one pitch from Rollison, and you take him out, Dumb. That's a perfect setup, Lobster Bobster, to our Toyota Drive segment, Drive of the Game segments. Let's hit it right now. Toyota, the Drive of the Game is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And in this particular case, it was Craig Counsell driving his bullpen straight into a wall with Ryan Rollison. Gets out of the inning. Frankly, hits it right back to him. Almost throws it into center field. Dansby, straight up. We could talk about Dansby with the bat all we want to later in the show. Dansby makes a great play. Makes a throw basically from the dirt to get that double play. That very next inning, they go to Caleb Thielbar. And Justin, I want you to ask whether you agreed with that decision or not, but also the mounting pressure now that this bullpen once again has to deal with because Daniel Palencia is going to be on the IL for at least the next couple of weeks with mild inflammation in the elbow. Were you on board with that move from Rollison to Thielbar? And what's your take on the bullpen right now?
Well, I think Lobster Bobster's got a good point. I mean, one pitch, right?
Lefty could have brought him back
because you're going to a lefty,
right?
So you already had a lefty who threw one pitch,
correct?
And Rollison's had success. Listen, I have kind of had enough of Thielbar. Thielbar has given up a lot of big time leads for us. I can name 3 right now, including our first Friday 120 Club out in at Wrigley after the show that had a no hitter going. So
Quick interjection.
Yes.
They went Rollison to Thornton.
Okay.
First.
Oh, that makes more
right,
sense.
right. Yeah,
okay.
sorry,
Thank you very much.
No,
that makes
you're
more
fine.
sense.
You're fine.
Yeah.
So ultimately, listen, do I agree with the moves? They didn't work, so no, right? We have the hindsight of 2020 here. It's just, for me, unacceptable the fact that you're winning a game 5-0 and your bullpen blows that game. You know? It happens, 1-run, 2-run leads, 5-0, your bullpen blows it. It's unacceptable. And again, we had momentum, right? We crushed the Blue Jays on Friday. And now you're crushing them to a certain extent again on Saturday. And the way it lined up now with 2 rainouts, wouldn't we feel a lot better, all of us in the Cub fandom, knowing that we had won 2 in a row against the Blue Jays? And okay, we have to rain out twice, but you feel better about it versus
right.
The last game we sat with now was a big time meltdown by our bullpen. So Joey, I don't agree with anything because it didn't work. Right. Yeah. But ultimately, I don't put that on Craig Counsell. I put that on our pitchers and the bullpen themselves to a man. They just have to do better.
Right. If let's say that Craig had thrown out Phil Maton, who struggled and leaves him out too long, and Maton is the one who gives up the entire lead or whatever he gives up. Instead, it's Thornton, Thielbar, Webb. At some point, someone has to get out.
Yes.
You can push all the buttons that you want and try and tinker and do whatever you want, but at some point, someone's just got to be able to get the outs without giving up 8 runs first. So again, you're right in that it is very difficult to pin that on Craig Counsell. I think a point that I was trying to make to Joey earlier off the air was the larger issue that I take right now is that the pitching staff is stretched so thin by injury, by lack of acquisitions to help in this area or high leverage arms or whatever you want to call it, that someone like Trent Thornton has to be in Craig Counsell's circle of trust. Ryan Rollison
Has to be
in his circle of trust.
Yeah.
And that's working out right now. That's great.
Yeah.
He's got a 1.95 ERA.
Right.
Ethan Roberts, I'll throw his name out there too.
Absolutely. He did a fine job picking up the scraps and getting the last 4 outs for him on Saturday. But Rollison is a guy who had a 7+ ERA in Colorado last year in his first year. And credit to the Cubs pitching staff for being able to get what they've gotten out of him. But I think the larger issue is just not being set up for success from the start when you have to rely on your bullpen a lot because your starters are dinged up and injured and out for the year with a couple of them or whatever you with Cade and Steele out long term. It's a recipe for disaster every once in a while, and that's what happened on Saturday.
Question,
please.
People in the chat, I think, have an even better question is, are you guys okay with pulling Colin Ray under 80 pitches? Because he was sailing, right? He was sailing.
Yeah, look, the thing with that is it's a twofold thing. One, they were trying to not expose him to the lineup a third time through. The other one is Colin Ray had an ERA, I believe, at about 8 over the last month heading into that game. He there's moments, and these are these old sports cliches of sometimes when a guy is going good, maybe if you pull him just a little bit early, he walks off the mound
feeling good.
Yeah, with that positivity, right, that he can pull into the next start, and hopefully one start turns into 3 or 4 really good ones. You're also up 5-0 in the game, right? So not that the game was in hand because they obviously gave up 8 runs and they blew it, right? But pulling him, I'm not going to maybe wag my finger at Craig Counsell with that one. The only thing to really think about is, and this is the thing that's going on with Craig Counsell right now, and we see it, everybody in the chat is like, well, why did they pull Rollinson or why did they pull Thornton? These names were not in our lexicon in February and March, right? And because of that, Craig's put in a really tough spot. And if you look at it across the board, who would you say the 3 guys were heading into this year from the bullpen that they were going to try and hang their hat on and feel really confident about? Phil Maton. He's been a disaster so far. Right. There's no ways about it. But they wanted him to be that 7th, 8th inning guy. They wanted him to be the Andrew Kittredge of last year. Maybe not Brad Keller, but the Kittredge of last year.
First multi-year bullpen deal in a while.
That they've given to since Craig Kimbrell. Since they begged the organization to
Right.
please give us extra money for Craig Kimbrell. The other part about with Caleb Thielbar is you're starting to kind of worry a little bit that he's 38 years old. He had a great year last year. And it isn't so much that he's 38, but when you have that hamstring injury, you can't get that extension that you want. All of a sudden, you could see it in the bite and the curveball. It's not exactly there. He's not throwing 97, 98. He's throwing more 94, 95. All that stuff kind of matters on the margins a little bit, and you see the ball flying over the fence. And now the biggest part about it, too, is now this is injury number 2 for Daniel Palencia. I think the world of Daniel Palencia's talent, but I'm trying to win games this year. It's now a lat and it's now an elbow. How do you exactly navigate that when he does come back, right? Even when he does come back and he's ready to throw again, they've handled him with kids' gloves all year long. They're going to have to continue to do that moving forward. And I see it in the chat, and Gary Wright said it in the Discord, like, Jacob Webb is pitching like an all-star. Jacob Webb was supposed to be your 6th inning guy, right? And that's just kind of what they're dealing with right now.
You were also
and they have to fight through that somehow.
And you were also supposed to be getting bullpen contributions from Ben Brown,
Hunter Harvey, Porter Hodge. Yeah, Ben Brown, who's
Ben
now
Brown,
in the
Javier
rotation.
Assad, and
Colin
Ray were supposed
Right.
to kind of be
Yes.
a group or conglomerate of guys that maybe they get the spot start, but they can probably help you out of the bullpen throughout the year. And instead, they're your 2, 3, 4 right now.
Yeah. And honestly, after talking about this and talking it out with you guys, and I think Niren's a real smart guy as well, I think Rollinson being used for 1 pitch is absolutely crazy. I think, if I can point to Counsell for one thing. Now listen, it's not Counsell's fault. The rest of the bullpen guys melted down.
Right.
But just looking at trying to get outs, one of your best relievers to only use him for 1 pitch is kind of dumb. Like at least let him go that next inning. And then if you're dying to do matchups or whatever, but like 1 pitch, it was that easy for him. Send him back out there.
It's antithetical. It's antithetical to the situation that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right now. If we're already running thin,
Yes.
and we're trying to play
Yes.
on the margins here, running a guy for 1 pitch.
Yeah. But I'll say this too. Matthew Boyd's coming back this week, right? And that's going to bump somebody to the bullpen to help the bullpen. Now, is it Colin Ray? Is it Assad? We can talk about that later. But Matthew Boyd coming back is going to make our rotation stronger and then our bullpen by default stronger. And that is some good news. But yeah, I mean, Saturday, no excuse. I just think that, the bullpen let our team down. And that one stings because, again, I feel better having 2 rainouts in a row after we just destroyed the Blue Jays 2 games in a row. But we don't feel that way because we blew it.
We got to go to a break in a second here, but for both of you, scale of 1 to 10, concern level on Daniel Palencia right now. And just from the regards of, can this guy help us the way that we think that he can help us this year?
7, probably. I'd say I'm pretty concerned with
Yeah.
it. Back-to-back, pretty close together injuries is not a great sign.
No, you're not wrong. I guess optimistically, I'm hoping. I saw some quotes saying that it wasn't as serious as they were. So like, it feels better. It doesn't feel like a long stint on the IL. But Joey, I got to give you credit, man. I hate the WBC.
Oh, man.
And I never want my players to ever play in them ever again. And Palencia is a perfect example. I was singing his praises. He looked unhittable. He looked like, just a beast. And I couldn't wait for him to close our Game 7 of the World Series. But thinking about him ramping up that early for games that don't matter to my baseball team, the Chicago Cubs.
Right.
And now seeing him on the IL not once but twice, drives me crazy.
Right, not trying to be a jerk about it. I'm
Yeah.
very happy for Venezuela. It was
Right.
a great moment in Daniel Plintz's career. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. We had big hopes and expectations for this year. And the fact that they were rolling him out there on back-to-back days was absolutely driving me nuts. And the fact now that during this regular season, I don't think they've rolled Daniel Plinth out once in back-to-back days, and it is the middle of June right now.
Yep.
It makes me mad.
Yep.
Let's take a break here. On the other side of the break, yes, Matthew Boyd. We're going to talk a little Matthew Boyd. And also, we got some good news on a couple of pitchers that, in the offseason, we had some high expectations for, or at least we thought could bring us some more potential in Jackson Wiggins and Justin Steele. Let's see where they're at. Keep hopping in the chat. Some words from our wonderful partners. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Football is here. Football is here.
Goal!
And soccer, if you're in America, right?
Yes.
Bring your friends, your fans, your frenemies together, one Casamigos Marg at a time. No matter who you're supporting, say cheers with a Casamigos Margarita. Pair your World Cup watch party food with a delicious, new, ready-to-enjoy Casamigos Margarita made with the best simple ingredients. Blanco, tequila, lime juice, and natural flavors. They're sure to rival any of your favorite hangout spots. Uncork, pour over ice, and garnish with lime. 110 calories per serving, that's it. Real juice. 2 flavors because it's all you need. Classic lime and spicy. Be on the lookout for U.S. MNT watch parties this summer. We'll have samples and prizes for those in attendance. The past ones have been a blast. We got one more. Joe's on Weed, June 25th, first Turkey. That's this week. Oh, man. Joe's on Weed. Whether you're at your favorite spot or stocking up for home, make it Casamigos. Visit allchgo.com/events to RSVP for any or all of our USMNT watch parties. And goal!
Love it how you say that, Justin. And right now, Cubs fans, new vehicles are in store at Wright, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And this is your chance to score a great deal at the summer sales event. So head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from the huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. And right now, get 0% financing for 72 months, plus no payments on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models with over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. They got a friendly team of brand experts just waiting for you, and the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you with each step of your car shopping journey. Plus, they prioritize affordability, so you know you won't overpay for the vehicle that you need. And that's right. That old thing we call Ray's Price Promise. You can shop confidently with no add-ons or no hidden fees. It's just that simple. So go check out one of their wonderful partners today to shop one of the Chicago area's largest inventories. Find the right vehicle for you and drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the one that we recommend. Check them out on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Going back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman, Patrick Norton, and Sarah on the ones and twos. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, we're going to have some shows for you tomorrow on Tuesday, doubleheader on Wednesday with the Wednesday watch long, and of course on Thursday with Cubs related for you when you get your coffee Friday morning. And also, CHGO has got a little thing called a watch party for this little thing called the World Cup. I don't know if you've heard, but the USA, they're scoring goals right now. Mm-hmm. They actually have some offense for once. And we're going to be doing a watch party at Joe's on Weed Street this coming Thursday. That's right, June 25th for USA versus Turkey. Come check out your U.S. team right now who, if I believe, they're already in Group D. Am I wrong? They made it.
They're in it. They've made it to the round of 32.
They made it to the round of 32.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
So it is rock and roll. I've heard that these events have been absolutely amazing. I'm sorry I've been in Italy, so please come and check them out. They've been fantastic. A lot of great giveaways.
One on Friday was awesome.
Yeah.
I was there on Friday. Great.
That's great. And CHGO, come on. We know Joe's on Weed Street's an amazing place to be. So that's absolutely
What
awesome.
up, Ed? Ed Worm, my guy.
Oh, right on. And also, Gary Ross in the chat, breaking news, Kyle Tucker is hurt and has just left the game. So I don't know. I guess things could be worse. Speaking of people on the way back, though, let's keep talking about this pitching here on CHGO Cubs. Good news on the front that Matthew Boyd, maybe third time's the charm.
On his way.
Patrick, give us the line that he just came off of his rehab start, because Craig Counsell did say today that Matthew Boyd will return to the Cubs rotation. They just have not named a day yet.
Rehab start. 4 innings.
Good.
0 runs.
Good.
7 strikeouts.
Like it.
I believe 0 walks, 2 hits, both singles.
All right.
On 59 pitches, 40 of which were strikes.
He looked great.
And he said he came out of it feeling good, Justin.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
let's start here with Matthew Boyd coming back, at the very least, giving you a good turn in the rotation is great news.
Yes.
Who you send into the bullpen? Is this Colin Ray for you? Is this Javier Assad? Or
Well,
how
it's
are
so
you going to
funny.
manage this?
We talked about this last week.
Yep.
And I was very, very firm of Javier Assad is staying in the rotation.
Okay.
And Colin Ray is going to the bullpen.
Yes.
Right? And then Colin Ray went out and pitched to Jim on Saturday.
Right.
In the rotation.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't change my mind. I just feel like Colin Ray is better suited for the bullpen than Javier Assad for me. So it's not like I think Ray's a worse start. I just feel like Javier Assad profiles to me better as a starter, and Colin Ray has more flexibility to be a better bullpen arm. That's where I'm at. So it doesn't change anything, but it's funny. I was 100% last week, and then Colin Ray did pitch really well on Saturday, starting for us. But my mind has not changed. Javi is in my rotation, and Ray is going to make our bullpen stronger.
Well, and I think Gary brings up a good point that Boyd will probably need a piggyback at least early on in his return. At least you'd think. Maybe not. But that's probably Colin Ray, considering that Colin Ray was using an opener 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seemed like that probably got him back on track a little bit too, hey, you don't need to be relied upon as the starter right now, and let Javi do his thing. Because at some point, and I think I've been pretty transparent about this with Javier Assad, he struggles every once in a while for as good as he will be, and he's having one heck of a stretch right now. Mm-hmm. In the past, it's been for as good as he's been, you can count on a stretch to go the other way as well.
Yeah,
and that would then put him in the pen or whatever you'd want to see there. But I think right now the move should be Ray.
Yeah, I don't think Javier Assad and Colin Ray, I don't think that they're necessarily both ideal options, right? I think that they're guys that have come in and they have been unsung heroes at different points, at different times over the last 2 years. I mean, you can't run away from the fact that Colin Ray's got an ERA over 5. That they are starting to worry about him a little bit. Like, lefties are starting to get to him a little bit more, so they opted for the opener. And, Justin, I think you're 100% right that I just think right now Colin Ray in the bullpen, the role that they originally kind of foresaw for him to start the year, I think he can come in and give you those multiple innings at a more effective level than maybe Javier Assad can right now.
Agreed.
I don't think Javier Assad is going to necessarily be the long-term option in the rotation. But for right now, I think maybe Colin Ray is the guy that steps out a little bit. You're not necessarily like ripping him out. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry, odd man out. Colin Ray just simply hasn't been very good up until this very last turn. So I think the most important thing definitely is that Matthew Boyd comes back, not only pitches well, and whether it is 70 pitches or whatever the number is, I need him to pitch well, and then I need him to recover into his next start. I'm not here to say that if Matthew Boyd comes out, let's just pretend he throws 4 shutout innings, 70 pitches, looks really good. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to need to see it a little bit for 2 or 3 starts from Matthew Boyd, that he gets through his cycle clean, that he's healthy every single time, the velocity comes back, and the crispness on his action stays there for 2 or 3 starts, because I maintain that I understand, Edgar Cabrera has been a disappointment. Tyone's now hurt. Shota, more or less, has been pretty much who we think Shota is, right? He can get knocked around. He can give you a really good outing. And then Ben Brown's come out of nowhere. I maintain that I think Matthew Boyd is the X factor to maybe turn this rotation from what has been average to maybe even below mediocre to average to maybe slightly above average. As we move into July, hopefully make a little bit of some noise, move up in the standings a little bit, and we can start talking a little bit more about the trade deadline.
Well, I was going to say is Javier Assad is not going to be the 5th starter on this team come September. I feel like that this team getting Matthew Boyd back is definitely a jolt to the rotation, and I'm very encouraged with his rehab numbers. I mean, I know it's just rehab, but still, that's a better line than the first rehab he had. I like this one a lot better. It'll be a jolt to our rotation. It'll strengthen our bullpen with Colin Ray going back there. Fine, piggyback the first time, but ultimately being in the bullpen. And again, I do not think for a second that Jed Hoyer is not going to strengthen the rotation of this team. I think that this is not a punt year. I'm sorry. This team was not built to sell and punt. This team was built to win. And fine, we're a little behind in the division, but we are still very much alive in the wild card, and it's a long season. So I fully expect Jed Hoyer to go out there and get a legit starter and that's going to bump Javier Assad from the rotation. We'll talk about Steele later for second half down the road. Like, Javier Assad is more like a Band-Aid right now, but I do believe in him. I think he's a very good Band-Aid, but he's not the long-term answer. And then hopefully he can strengthen your bullpen. You see what I'm saying? Like, ultimately, Boyd strengthens rotation and bullpen, and eventually that's going to be the same thing with Assad if Jed Hoyer can make a trade like I think he will.
Right, and you say that it's not a punt year, and I think the best way to look at that is, and it's a point that I've been trying to kind of make for a little while now, is that, right, good teams don't lose 10 in a row, but bad teams don't win 10 in a row twice.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it kind of puts the Cubs in an odd spot or an odd situation.
Yeah.
And look at, was it Cleveland last year who went on a tear in the second half of the year and came back and stole that division back? Mm-hmm. Let's not worry about the division right now. Let's worry about playoff picture first. Mm-hmm. But it's well within reach. I for as bad as it's been in the last month and a half, last week, not counting that, they're still within, striking distance of
100%. I mean, a really good week.
So, right.
A really good week gets you back into position.
Really good week gets you back in
position. They play the
position.
Brewers this weekend. They played the Cardinals a whole bunch. They play their division a lot over the next 3-4 weeks, where easily you can just handle your own business and sort out at least the NL Central standings. You can sort a lot of that stuff out on your own over the next month of play.
Guys, a good weekend puts us right back in the division. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Playing Milwaukee. So like you get to face the guys that you're chasing.
Gotta
and
do it.
That's a head-to-head thing where you have a good weekend. We're talking totally different next week.
And beyond that, the addition of a very good pitcher would also jump you into that.
So I'm glad we're bringing this up. And Justin, you mentioned the punting on this year, right?
Yeah. Not punting this year.
And I want to get this off my chest because this is something I was kind of trying to read the trades, do the best I can or whatever. And I thought about this in Rome. Okay, so hang with me on this for a second. But I saw Jed Hoyer. I think he was on 670 the score. Or maybe he was in front of a throw of reporters. He said, I'm not really thinking about the trade deadline right now. I see a lot of Cubs fans also saying, there's no way that the Cubs would ever make a move the way that they're playing right now. And some people are even asking the question of, like, would they be in a position to ever sell some players? Here's my whole thing on that, is I can understand people maybe being reticent with a team that seems to be hovering over 500, that frankly is playing mediocre baseball, over-leveraging prospects to bring in a rental, a guy that might leave in the offseason. But I say the whole thing of, like, the Cubs team needs to prove to Jed that Jed should go out and buy a guy is a bunch of crap to me.
Yeah.
It's total BS. And here's why. Because I'm sick of this, like, station-to-station way of thinking of, well, if you show me the success, then we will buy into the success. There are so many different ways to build a championship baseball team. And forgive me, Cubs fans, I always go back to what happened on the South Side when the White Sox were going nowhere and still traded for Freddie Garcia a year and a half before they ended up winning the World Series. Why? Because Freddie Garcia was a good player. They wanted him in the organization, and they just wanted to make the team better. I don't care what your record is. They are in a window right now of winning. And if you're in that window right now, you should figure out ways to improve your team no matter what the standings say. They could be 40-37. They could be 37-40. They should still be looking at, guys like Sandy Alcantara or Joe Ryan to bring into this team. If you're at 500 and you don't want to go after Skubal, I get it. But not to do anything just because they're not exactly positioned the way that they thought they would, I think is a total cop-out, and I hope Cubs fans don't buy into that at all because they should be thinking about improving the team. If it doesn't happen this year, then guess what? You got a great pitcher for next year. They're going to need him in the rotation. Yep. So I don't want to hear that stuff, right? We should be going after guys.
Guys, don't believe for a second what Jed Hoyer says in that situation. His mind is made up. This is all negotiation. This is all poker face. This is all not letting other teams know that he's definitely going to do. Like, he's going to say, like, you can't go with the sound bites. Like, this team was not built to not make the playoffs. This team was not built to sell, okay? Like Patrick, what you said, I'm the same way. I'm optimistic. This team was good enough to have 2 10-game winning streaks before the end of May, okay? And yeah, they were bad enough to lose 10 games in a row. But at the end of the day, as bad as things have felt, today, it's June 22nd, your Chicago Cubs are a playoff team as of today, okay? It's been bad, but we're still a playoff team as of today. And it's not only going to get better. You get Matthew Boyd back. I don't for a second believe that Jed Hoyer is going to stand pat. I think he's going to make a trade. All along, we thought we need an arm. And I think now more than ever, he's going to get us an arm. So I don't believe those sound bites, Joey. I mean, he's got to say what he's got to say because he has to meet the media, but he's not going to show his cards. Other teams are looking, other teams are watching, and it's all negotiation. So listen, it's been bad. As of now, we're a playoff team. I do think the future is a lot brighter, and I think help is on the way, and it starts with Matthew Boyd this week.
He also has to be mindful, though, of his messaging that's going out. And I understand that the negotiation aspect of it, but it's not a good look when what's coming back to him is this sense of I'm trying to frame it where he says the whole thing about, well, my thought is not this, because the team needs to perform better to be in the conversation, to be buyers at the deadline.
Is it motivation, you think?
I don't know if it's that, but for me, it comes across as not taking any sort of responsibility for what you've also put out there.
He's not trying to overinflate the expectation of what he needs to go out there and do. And real quick, before you continue, Erica Lang with the Toyota Super Chat. Jed will go bargain shopping like he always does. That is a narrative that is out there among Cubs fans because last year they were in position, Patrick.
Right.
And they didn't go out and they weren't able to reel in the big
deadline
fish.
show.
Right. So now Jed has to, as you said, with messaging, he has to be careful a little bit about what he says because he hasn't actually ever really pulled something like that off before.
Right.
It needs to be done.
It feels like it comes across, and I don't know why the word is completely escaping me. Accountability. That's what it lacks accountability when he says that, because at the end of the day, and I am team 100%, the players need to perform at the end of the day. That's what they need. But at some point, there should also be some reflection on the fact that the team that you have created, that you have put together and put out there, is also not performing.
No, and think outside the box. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to go to break here in a second, but, be aggressive, right? Like, honestly, my little pet theory is that, if you get 2 or 3 really good turns out of Edward Cabrera and you can package him in a deal to bring you back an even better pitcher, you think about that stuff. You think about everything. You try and get creative and aggressive at the same time, and it doesn't have to be for just the here and now. You can acquire things that have control for years moving forward.
I'll argue really fast that we need Edward Cabrera to be who we thought he was going to be for us to make a run in October.
I know. I'm worried he's if it's not one thing, it's another thing.
Yeah.
It's very Isaac Paredes like.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, think outside of the box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No one's untouchable unless your name is PCA.
Thank you. That's excellently put. Let's take our final break here. On the way back, we're going to play a little game of something or nothing with the news and notes going around with your Chicago Cubs. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the CHGO Cubs Podcast. 5 years, Cubs fans. That's the contract they just signed Pete Crow-Armstrong to. And that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's National League Player of the Week again. And what if you could have that reliable type of player with your Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for that 5 whole years? Well, that's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine that Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together. That's diving balls out of center field and hitting balls over the fence. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And then it lets you stream that game to watch PCA while the rest of the family can watch whatever they want. That's right, everything working in harmony for 5 whole years. And the best part about it, Xfinity has no annual contracts, no hidden fees, and Xfinity's best equipment is always included. Take it from us, a lot can change in 5 years, but when it comes to PCA, keep doing the same thing, brother. Records are meant to be broken, dreams can get bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it's got to stay the same, and the price should always stay put. So check out that Xfinity 5-year price guarantee by going to Xfinity.com today.
How electric has the World Cup been?
USA. Go
yes,
USA.
Yes, it's finally back in North America for the first time since 1994. The actual World Cup has been amazing, but trying to find tickets for the games, or the matches as they say, has not been as fun. That's why the Game Time app is a lifesaver. It gives the advantage back to fans with tickets to all the matches you care about. Track price drops in real time, get alerts when seats open up, and grab tickets the moment they hit the app. Let's take it more local. Milwaukee, who's going this weekend? Cubs, Brewers. you better be there, all right? Game Time's got you covered. Fees are included. Know your total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Zone deals. Save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose the seats. And seat views, get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy it. It's all backed by the lowest price guarantee, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying soccer or baseball tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today.
Rounding third, heading home here on the CHGO Cubs podcast. Make sure you like the video. Thanks for hanging out with us. Cubs rained out tonight. They're going to be back in action tomorrow, we think. We hope.
Can I just say really fast,
two in a row.
I'm really bummed out. I was so excited for a game tonight.
Super jacked for some baseball
Yeah,
tonight.
I mean,
we got Pat Norton in the house.
Yeah,
we're going to roll.
It's one of those things where, like, how pathetic is my life where I build the whole day around the baseball game. I can't wait to watch my Cubbies play. We lost yesterday on Father's Day. We didn't get to watch them play at all. And now we lost today. Not lost the game, but lost watching them.
Right.
And it bums me out. It does.
Not pathetic at all.
Try waking up at 4 a.m. in Ravello, Italy.
Yeah.
Checking
Fellas,
they
this is
won
our
5-1.
job.
Can I say one more thing,
Thank
actually, guys?
God.
Joey is the hardest worker I've ever seen. Joey was in Italy for, 10 days, a week? Whatever.
I did about 10 days, yeah.
He came home and watched back every Cubs game that he missed. This guy's
did.
a psycho.
I
In
did.
a good way, compliment, but he's a psycho. He watched back every game that he missed.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my God.
I got some Nico Horner
See,
thoughts.
I just went
Watching
on-
Craig get tossed was super fun.
I just went on ESPN and scrolled, and then that was about it.
He watched every game. He's
Yeah.
nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I watched every game.
Not everyone can be like you, Joey.
Yeah,
I
dude.
guess. I'm
So,
just-
we salute you, buddy. That was awesome.
Thank you. I'm a psycho. So yeah, let's do some news and notes here as we round out, because a lot of business, little business, is kind of happening with the Chicago Cubs. It's not exactly happening, affecting the team, on a day-to-day basis, but something that's worth noting. So let's play a little game called Something or Nothing. Something or Nothing. Patrick, you're going to go first because you have his line. He pitched over the weekend. Jackson Wiggins finally on the mound. Give us his line and tell us if is it something or nothing for you?
Let's see. So he went 2 2/3. Gave up 1 run, which came on a home run. Walked 2, struck out 3, threw 49 pitches total, 27 of which were strikes.
Oof.
Per Greg Huss, he used his full 4-pitch mix and did reach 97 miles per hour with the fastball. I think the back half of what I just said is something.
Okay.
It's what, his first action since April? I wouldn't get too hung up on the results out of that. I think what is most important is that we haven't heard that he did not feel well today or yesterday. So I think that it's something that he seems to have made it through and is doing all right. And the whole 4-pitch mix being there and then reaching 97, that's all good news to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just the fact, I don't care about results. I care about the fact that he comes out of it healthy. When your top pitching prospect does his first rehab outing, it's a good thing. Now listen, I don't think he's coming up next week. I'm looking at, can he help us in September?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe late August. Like, whatever that is, it's only good news. He's your top pitching prospect. He was probably going to slate somewhere to come in late second half anyway. So if he can still get there and help you for, a month, 2 weeks, whatever it is, we're just talking about how our bullpen's kind of thin. Having 97 miles per hour on the back end of your bullpen would definitely be a welcome addition if he can get there. Right now, it's about him being healthy. I'm very glad he's pitching.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you in terms of September. That's why I'm actually taking the perspective of it's nothing.
Right.
Because I think he needs to give us I want to see 20, 30 innings from this guy, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm just taking it from the perspective of 2 innings over this weekend is nothing to me. I'm glad that he's healthy, but in terms of trying to say, well, maybe can we get Jackson Wiggins to be able to help us at some point? It's a bit of a nothing until he maybe hits that 20, 25 inning mark, and you're like, oh, yeah, wow, we're starting to really see, his 4-pitch arsenal and all of it looking really good, and then maybe he can be an option. But right now, I'm just not banking on it. Speaking of trying to bank on stuff, we've been talking about this guy for a while. Justin Steele finally threw per John Heyman today. Finally threw. There's been reports out there that it would be a quote-unquote victory if he was able to pitch in August. Justin, the fact that Justin Steele was at least beginning a throwing program again, one Justin to another Justin, something or nothing?
I mean, I think it's something. I said when the setback happened, on this show, I said I don't think he's pitching for us this year. I didn't feel good about it. Even his like Instagram post was so like morbid. I really made me like sad, you know. So anything we get out of Justin Steele at the big league level this year is a bonus. I am not counting on Justin Steele for this team on the mound, right? I want him in the dugout. I want him cheering the guys on. I want him cursing the guys out if they're not, whatever it is. But ultimately, for me, I'm not expecting it. But I think it's something because you know what? Anytime he's throwing the ball, anytime he's making progress, I think it's good for his mental. I think it's obviously good for his physical. I think it's good for team morale to see one of our team leaders to be out there trying his best to make an impact. But man, if he pitches meaningful baseball for us at all this year, I'll be shocked.
Sometimes spoke with Steele, I think, recently and then wrote it today. And it was a decent interview if you can find it. And I think the quote or line, and it's not verbatim from Steele, that's kind of struck or that stuck with me at least, was when he had the setback, I wouldn't call it a depressive state, but his initial reaction was, oh, God, I think my season's over, essentially.
You could tell by his post.
Right.
Yeah.
And then his most recent outlook is, I can't wait to get back with this team this year and help them down the stretch.
Right.
And help them in the playoffs. And he says, I believe that I can be as good as I was pre-injury. And wasn't his last start last year, 7 innings and
Sure
one hit?
was.
So that'd be great.
And then next a couple of days, then you're skipping a start, and the next thing you know, he's
Right.
going under the knife. So
that'd be great if you could get him to that level. Yeah. But obviously, he's not going to be at 7 innings when he comes back because he's missed 16 months, or he'll be at that level when he comes back. But I hate to be the Debbie Downer on this. This is also the outlook for Cade Horton. For next year, you're not getting him back until, or probably around the same time, without a setback of August, September, somewhere around there.
100%.
So,
yeah. Look, I'm gonna go little something on this just because I root for the dude so hard.
Right.
And we all know that he's a gamer and a grinder. So if we can get him actually into a game that matters in late August or September, you know that he's going to give you a really great effort, whether it's a starter, reliever. I don't really care. So I think it's a little something. We have about 3 minutes to go. So I got 3 more for you. So let's try and hit these really fast. Mo Baller getting sent down to AAA. I'm going to go with something just really fast because he can no longer be a DH. He has to learn how to play catcher. Mm-hmm. If he wants to get back up to the major leagues, he's going to have to hit his way, and he's going to have to catch his way to get back. So I think it's something.
I also think that it's something because my lifelong dream of Matt Shaw being an everyday guy is happening now because we've cleared that spot.
Yep.
Because whether it's Matt Shaw in right field every day and Suzuki being a DH, I'm fine with that. Or, moving the guys around, whatever it is. But I think that Mo Baller being gone now really opens up the plan that I've wanted for a while, which is Matt Shaw getting everyday at bats. And so far, so good with Shaw. He's looked really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's something. Yeah, he showed that he is a capable catcher, but needs to improve on it.
Yeah, so get him some more reps, right? And honestly, Miguel Amaya, watch your 6. That's honestly that I would say, because if he can hit, that's good news. And obviously for Gary Ross's guy, Pedro Ramirez, more lefty at bats. Now go to Pedro Ramirez off the bench because Conforto's kind of falling back. Really quick, very, very small one. Something or nothing, Justin Dean getting called up over Kevin Alcantara. Bad news for Kevin Alcantara. I think this is something for Kevin Alcantara.
I think it's the fact that K.A. is not a good base runner. I think we've seen that.
That's a great call.
Justin Dean is a great pinch runner,
and that's what they're asking him to do.
And that's all they want out of him. Listen, it's a feel-good story. The triple he hit, first MLB hit. When he said he had tears in his eyes, I almost had tears in my eyes thinking of that. Like, what a great thing for a guy who's been playing that long. But I think it's more of a line of like, we need a certain thing, which is defense and pinch running. And K.A. really, really itched the bed, if you will, when it came to that kind of stuff. So this is more of we need a good pinch runner and a great defender, and that's what Dean can provide.
This is for Kevin Alcantara, not the first, but a few times in a sequence of events that points to the fact that he still has a chance to have a really nice major league career. It just will not be in Chicago.
Yeah, they just don't trust him. And I'm with you, Justin. I think he's up because of the base running thing, and he had too many gaffes, and they need a guy to play that spot. Real fast, the final couple ones here because we're running out of time. Something or nothing. Matt Shaw is a full-time player. I think that's a something. I think that's a big something, right? I think he needs to get as much run as possible. And honestly, infield at bats and infield run, I'm probably giving them to Matt Shaw too as well.
Sorry I jumped the gun on your question. I didn't mean to do it.
No, it's okay.
But
But it is. We're running out of time.
You guys know where I'm at. I think Matt Shaw is a stud. I think he can be a pillar for us, not just this year, but moving forward. Don't forget, we're losing Happ and Suzuki probably. I think Matt Shaw profiles in one of those spots next year as a full-timer. So ultimately, this is definitely something, and I think the Cubs are going to be a better team because of it.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly.
No, 100%. And then finally, the last one is, out of all the infielders right now, who gets back to being who they should be? Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, Alex Bregman. Who gets back there first? Bregman's been a little bit better, and Nico had 3 hits a couple days ago, but who gets back to being the player that we think that they need to be?
It needs to be Nico.
Has to be Nico,
Needs
right?
to be Nico.
Clean sweep, Nico Horner.
Nico Horner,
Yep.
please start being
Remember
Nico Horner
who you are,
again.
dude. Remember who you are, Nico.
Stop chasing the ball low in the zone, man. All right? Forget about breaking ball. Just start drilling in on fastball. We got to get out of here. That's going to do it. It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast. Joey Christopoulos, Justin Roman. Thanks so much for Patrick Norton for stepping in. Sarah on the ones and twos doing an amazing job as always. We're going to be back tomorrow with a post game, hopefully with a Cubs win, hopefully with a Cubs played game.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. Until then, as Luke would always say, fly the W, and we will see you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.